It's an amazing thing, reality. Nature. The amount of abuse that she will stand and keep running. Think about how long humanity has been destroying the planet, and with such gusto in recent centuries. But how remarkable she sustains herself. So in the mechanics bit, the physicsy bit, quantum mechanics, it just runs itself. It's an engine you never have to service or do anything to the engine itself. Your maintenance is higher up the mechanism, adding quality to the fuel. You're 5-starring the fuel, you're polishing it, so that when it goes through the injectors of the portal, it's of a proper size and polish. So really ricochet through the helical-angular momentum of the moment. That's your bit. The moment will exist for you. This is what it looks like. In the coming ascension, nature is going to be restored, and that the parasitical man-made loop that we've manufactured for ourselves, that we're stuck in, with the moment is repeating. We're going round in a loop, and have been for 12,000 years. Younger Dryas. That's the shift to look at. The natural order of nature is for cells to divide. And sometimes in the division of the cells, they create a single entity. And sometimes they'll create separate entities. You add evolution onto that choice. If you've created separate entities, they may make different choices and their paths will be different. And if they make those choices towards quality of experience, then they can't go wrong. Their plus energy will be there, and evolution will happen. Because as soon as the evolution stops, instead of the cells of reality dividing and spreading and adding difference, you get caught in this loop, and it's just parasitical. It has to be. It's the fish in the lake in Africa, the Nile, whatever they are. There's horrible things. There's Nile perch, and they just decimated this wonderful environment in Africa. Ate all the fish, the little lovely ones, and then ate each other. You want to see what hell looks like? Go and look at that lake. So that the ascension, when it comes, will be nature being restored and cells will split again. There is the theory of the multiverse is a real thing, and I think we're into something useful as a tool to visualize stuff, because that's what all this game is about, visualizing what's in front of you, and if you can see what's in front of you, you can step into it with more confidence. But I don't know this bit. This is conjecture. Are there literally two Earths, let's say, ahead of us? And therefore, if there are two, there are infinite. So there's only one, or there are infinite. And I think it's a combination of the two. There is only one, but it exists in a different time. So so there'll be a beat ahead. The past Earths, there aren't any. This is the last one that we're standing on, the parasitical one. The future exists in the bell curve of probability in the quantum world, Schrodinger's wave they call it, that exists of probability. So look at the thicknesses of there. Imagine you could stack more moments between where you are and where the top of the wave is. And I think you want fewer, not more. So when the ascension comes, just be ready that it's possible that this will happen. The Pied Piper of Hamelin story will repeat, and that people will just disappear. Because we'll be living, those of us who have evolved and are enlightened, we will be living a beat ahead in time. And because for us there is no past, we will be the last particle, this will stop existing. But it'll only stop existing for us. This is Schrodinger's cat now, you can see it in the box. For the people who we've left behind, they will keep existing. So the cat's alive. But in the reality in which we live, it feels like we've murdered the cat. And that we've killed all the people that we loved and left behind. But we haven't killed them. We've just left them to make their own choices about quality of experience, and we're making ours. So it's just forgiveness. Remember, the window's open. This is the best time ever to be alive, to be a human being. You lucky fuckers. It's you. You, your proteins, your characters, your avatars that have worked out that they are in gameplay mode while they are in gameplay mode itself, and then can play the game, which is where we're going. Star Trek world, hive mind, queen, cells, culture, absolute morality, total transparency. The meaning of life is to evolve, live your best life, move towards quality of experience. Every single human being will have their base protected, below which no human will fall. All life will have a base below which no life can fall. And if you need stuff to evolve, then we'll come to the court of consciousness. Start with the court of consciousness in your head. Can you convince yourself that you need it? It's not a want, it's a need. You need it because you need to evolve. Then push that up the chain and you get what you want. Because then you're living your best life, doing your job, adding the momentum. And we'll get into the science, and we'll use the CERN properly as an engine, and we'll control gravity to watch the natural cycles. There'll be the festival of the bleed. So the monthly cycles will follow the women's monthly cycle. All of us. And that during the week of the bleed, the men will care. And men will teach themselves empathy. The women will teach men empathy. And we will look after the women. And they will choose a partner every time. For every week of the bleed. Choose the same one if you want, that's fine. But you choose every time. Women choose. Women do the choosing. But who cares for them? Blokes got to learn how to be nurturing and just how to cherish. How to really cherish somebody. Because if they really do cherish that person, they get to stay with them. They can look after them. Week after the bleed, week of the party, all the sex happens. Dancing, music. Fantastic. Brilliant science. Then there's a couple of weeks of working. Infrastructure shit we've got to put together. We're building stuff for 1,000 years. All this crap we've built, we're pulling it all down. Built for 1,000 years. And introduce Venice and the water world down here. How good have I got to make it sound? And it's the certainty of the science and the knowledge that I have about how reality works gives me the power and the authority to speak these words to you with absolute sincerity. Trust me. Trust that my voice is the voice of God. The voice of the Lord, your Lord. The miracle of your existence is seated in a seat of power. And that voice is the voice that I have received through opening myself up to it. And the downside is that you may leave behind people. And human beings will step forward. And we will grieve their loss and tell their stories. And we will begin again in the future. Choose me. Choose my story. Choose to join it. It's one of glory. Me and Michael are going. Me and Michael are going air swimming. Come and watch us. You lucky fucking places.